everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be diving into the new palette from Miss Huda Beauty. This is the Rose Quartz palette. I took a trip down to Sephora today, picked this up along with the new lippy that she launched with it. This is kind of a pearlescent gloss. It's a little sheer, but it has a little bit of a pearl texture to it. But this video is all about this palette. This palette retails for $67. If this palette is on your radar, I would recommend waiting for the Sephora holiday event to pick this up, only because if you're a Rouge or a VIB member, you're gonna save the 20 or 15% off. It's just, it's always nice to save money, but lots to say about this palette, you guys. In the video, I'm going to create 3 eyeshadow looks using the palette. I'm also going to share some swatches and also a few comparisons, which I don't have a lot of comparisons of this palette. I don't have a lot of palettes like this in my collection. I just don't. In my personal collection, this is definitely unique for me, but I will share what I have. And of course, once we get through all that, I will get into my final thoughts. But let's go ahead and jump into a few details about it. So this palette has 8 velvety soft pigmented mattes, 3 high shine buttery metallics, 3 pearly soft shine metallics, 3 quartz inspired multi shimmer marble creams, 1 crushed stone pearly gloss hybrid, and minimum fallout and kickback, which I disagree with. I'm just gonna say that right now. I did get quite a bit of fallout using this palette. In fact, my makeup desk was a mess. I recommend doing your eye makeup first. With all 3 of the eyeshadow looks I created, I experienced fallout. So just kind of keep that in mind. But lots of different textures going on in this palette. Definitely outside of the norm of what we're used to, and I am excited about it. Now, she also launched the highlighter that goes with this Rose Quartz palette, and I did not pick that up. It wasn't available at Sephora to pick up, but I have ordered it along with the Wishful Rose Quartz Pill-Off Mask. So I did pick that up. It is coming. So that is all the details about this palette from Huda Beauty. Let's go ahead and jump into the 3 eyeshadow looks using the palette. Then we will get into the swatches and comparisons. And then, of course, I will jump into my final thoughts. So I will see you guys then. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into this new palette from Huda Beauty. First thing I noticed right off the bat when I picked it up from the Sephora store is that it doesn't have the plastic packaging anymore. It's the boxes, which I'm okay with because number 1, the plastic packaging I felt was kind of hard to get into. And number 2, this is way better for the environment. This is the palette. And it's actually really beautiful in person. So before I start putting my mittens in it, I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. Look how beautiful those shades are. Right? This shade right here looks really gorgeous. Like, I'm so excited to put my finger in that one. These actually look really pretty. I am quite impressed with the overall layout of this palette. That's self-love. Damn. Okay. This is Moon Magic. Oh. Hold on. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Look at Moon Magic. That is a periwinkle shadow, you guys. Right here is a periwinkle. Oh, it's so exciting. Okay, I'm going to go into Blissful. Oh, Blissful is so... Oh my gosh, you guys. Wowza. I'm going to go into Energized. Okay, I'm sure you guys are blinded right now. Look at Cosmic Love. Ooh. Look at that. So Love Stone right here, this is more of that like glossy top that will kind of make it shine. I'm not like a huge fan of these because it seems like they always make it crease. This is not super oily and it's not super tacky. These shadows, I don't know that you need to make them shine any more than they already are. I mean, can you see that? We're gonna create a couple looks. I'm actually really, really excited for these looks. I'm gonna grab my Smith 253 brush. And I'm going to go into Self-Love. I want to see how this applies with a brush because I am one that has a hard time using my fingers on everything because I can't get up in there in the corner with my nails. But yeah, this is not, yeah, I'm not having any issues. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm getting a little fallout with the brush. Get out of here. This is so pretty. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that shade is so beautiful. Oh, it's so pretty. I like it already. Okay, I'm going to take the BK Beauty Hot and Flashy Collaboration. This is the A502. Let's go into Radiate. I want to see what this shade looks like. It's got such a perfect undertone. Like, it's got a gorgeous color base. And it builds beautifully. Steepen it up and let's go into Gratitude right here. And I'm going to keep this like right here on this out side corner, kind of bringing it down on the lid as well. Now I'm going to take the Rephr number 2 brush and I'm going to go into Aura right here. So I'm going to bring that shade like right out here on this outer corner. Brushes. I'm going to switch to the E5 and I'm going to go into Aura and I'm going to softly kind of build up this outer corner, kind of adding more pigment, but not blowing it out too far. I'm going to go back to the A502 and I'm going to go back into Radiate and I'm just going to kind of blend this out. I'm going to go in one more time with my finger into Self Love. And I'm going to bring that like right here on the middle. Oh, damn that shade though, right? Okay, so when you use your finger to apply this, poof, it is gorgeous. So I went ahead and threw on some concealer. Let's move on to the lower lash line and kind of bring everything together. I'm going to take the Rephr number 26. And I think for this, I'm going to go into Radiate first. And kind of blend out this edge with the shade Radiate. Then I'm going to go into Gratitude. Put it right over top. Now I'm going to take the Sigma Flat Definer, the E15, and I'm going to go into Aura. I'm going to tightline that right against the lash line. And same thing on the upper lash line. I think I'm going to bring Self Love on the inner corner. Bring it right there, but look at the pigment on this, you guys. Like, that's dry. Could you imagine what it would look like dampened? So this is the final look. I just went ahead and threw on a lash because I am going to be taking it off to do the final look. But so far, highly impressed. Just such a beautiful formula thus far. I think the only thing that I can find that's negative is the fact that you get quite a bit of fallout. So when using this palette, I would recommend doing your eye makeup first. But overall, thus far, gorgeous. So that's it for look number 1. Let's go ahead and jump into look number 2. Let's go ahead and jump into look number 2. Let's go into the shade Serenity, which is this one right here. Now I want to take that shade on the inner corner and the outer corner. I'm going to go into the shade Precious, this gray right here. So I'm going to pop that right over top of the inner corner and outer corner. And over top of that purple shade, it is really a beautiful shadow. I'm going to kind of meet them in the middle. I'm gonna take a small, tiny brush. This is the Sigma E21 smudge brush, and I'm gonna go into Mantra right here on the corner. I'm gonna focus that like right here, just to add some depth. But I'm using a small brush so I can kind of control where that dark color goes. I have the hardest time doing my eyeshadow on this side. Do you guys have a hard time doing eyeshadows when you cross over? And then I'm going to kind of connect it. And I'm just going to blend that shadow out. I'm going to go into Moon Magic, and I'm actually going to apply it with my brush first, just to see if I can get it to work with a brush. I'm going to go into it dry, just to see what we get. I'm assuming this is going to be much better applied with a finger or wet. So this is a finger, and look at that. Gosh, dang, that's pretty. And I'm going to kind of buff these edges and kind of blend it in. This is quite a loose pigment. So it's got some loose, like glittery textures to it. So I went ahead and put on some concealer. Now I'm going to take the builder from the Sonia G Lotus set, and I'm going to go into Serenity, and I'm going to bring that here on the lower lash line. Now I'm going to go into Precious and pop that right over top, but as close to the lash line as I can get with that fluffy brush. I'm going to go to my Sigma flat definer, the E15, and I'm going to go into Mantra. I'm going to focus that right along the lower lash line, but doing it all the way across. I'm going to grab the flat definer from Sonia G, and I'm going to bring some of the Moon Magic right there on the inner corner. Okay, so this is the final look for look number 2, and obviously I just went ahead and threw on a quick lash. I would definitely fine tune this and add some eyeliners. I would not add that shade in the inner corner again. If I had to do it over, I would have left it blank. That I do not like. I do not like that color on the inner corner. It just doesn't really belong there, in my opinion. I don't like it. But other than that, I really love the way this eyeshadow look turned out. It's really pretty. Definitely a gorgeous periwinkle, gorgeous purple. I'm here for it. And yeah, I like it. So that's it for look number 2. Let's go ahead and jump into look number 3, which will be the final look. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the third and final look. I'm going to grab the BK Beauty A502, and I'm going to go into this shadow right here. I'm going to sweep this all into the crease. Very pigmented, much more pigmented than you think. So go in lightly and then kind of blend it. I'm going to take the Sonia G Worker Pro, and I'm going to go into this shadow right here. And I am going to focus that right on the bone, kind of mapping out the shape. And then I'm going to take that big fluffy brush and blend those two together. Think I'm going to go in with Abundance. I mean, I haven't used one of these textures yet. I want to see how this looks on the lid. Kind of using it as the base color, so I'm stretching it as far as I can because I want that shadow just to kind of be the base, because I'm going to go over top of it with that other shadow. And it really blends out beautifully. Like, it spreads quite pretty. Now I'm going to go into Energized. This is like a gorgeous metallic shadow. And I'm going into it dry first, just to see what pigment we get. Oh yeah, that shadow is gorgeous. Ooh, pretty metallic. I'm going to bring that kind of up and into the crease, kind of like opening that up a little bit. I'm going to go back to the Worker Pro. I'm going to go into Aura, and I'm going to kind of tap that into the outer corner. Okay, I want to try something with this. I don't know if I will regret it, but I'm going to take a fluffy brush and I'm going to go into Abundance right here. And I want to see what that shadow kind of looks like in the crease over top of those mattes. Oh yeah, that's pretty. Look how pretty that is. Because of the way that I was able to kind of spread it on the lid, you can make it super impactful, or you can kind of make it have this really pretty sheen. And I wanted to see what it would look like over those mattes, and that is really beautiful. I am gonna go into the shade Gratitude. I am gonna go into the shade Aura. I'm gonna focus that right here on the lash line. I'm also going to do that on the upper lash line, like right there, just to add a little bit of that depth. I was kind of wondering what this Blissful shade would look like if I put that kind of like scattered on the lid. I'm gonna take a pencil brush. This is the number 3 from Refer, and I'm gonna go into this shadow right here, and I want to just kind of bring that like right here on the center and kind of emphasize this, but not overdoing it. So that's the reason why I'm putting it on with a pencil brush. Okay, so I'm back. I finished the rest of my makeup and I wanted to use the Lippy. She launched the Silk Balm Rose Quartz. It's an illuminating lip balm. This is what it looks like, and it's just a regular lip balm, y'all. It's like just a regular lip balm, right? So I put on this lip liner. This is from Jouer. This is a long-wearing cream lip liner in the shade Rose Shimmer. I felt like this color would go perfect with the eyeshadow look. So I'm going to go in with this over top. This doesn't really have a lot of color. You can see it's kind of clear. So I feel like you're going to need something under it if you want it to pop. So that is the reason why I put the lip liner on first. I mean, obviously the lip liner kind of makes it, right? That is really pretty. This is just a clear lip gloss. I can tell you it's not super sticky. This is the first time I've actually ever used her glosses. And it's not bad. I wish it had a little bit more pigment, but it is supposed to be more of like a sheen. So it's not bad. It feels really good on the lips. It's not one of those like really thick, heavy glosses. So overall, it's a nice formula. So that's it for look number 3 and all of the tutorials using the palette. Let's go ahead and jump into the swatches, and I'm going to swatch this palette and compare it to other palettes, but I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm not going to have a lot of palettes that are similar to this. This is a pretty unique palette, especially for my personal collection, but I will definitely try. And then once we get through the swatches, I will jump into my final thoughts. So I will see you guys then. Okay, so I'm back to give my final thoughts on this new palette, and I warned you guys, I knew I would not have a lot of palettes in my collection to compare this to. I just don't. It is a very unique palette from my personal collection, and I tried, but I could not find very many palettes to compare this to. And also, I don't have the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette or the Naughty Nudes. I did buy them. I did review them, but they were kind of sitting in my collection, and I was on the phone with one of my friends, and he explained to me that they were his favorite palettes, and he hadn't had a chance to pick them up. And so I thought, you know what? I'll just send them to you because you will get so much more use out of them than I will. He absolutely loves them. But because of that, I don't have those to compare this to. I do have the new Nudes palette, and there were some similarities as far as the mattes go, but not necessarily as far as the overall color story. And I'm happy to report that the new Rose Quartz palette doesn't have this glitter crap in it. I do not like that formula at all whatsoever. I don't like it. It's too, I don't like the texture of it. I don't like the grit. I'm not a fan. Okay, so let me say this. On a scale from 1 to 10, you guys, this palette is a 10 out of a 10 out of a 10. It's a hard 10. This is a gorgeous palette. She knocked it out of the ballpark with this. I mean, every single shadow I used, fantastic. The mattes blended beautifully, and every formula in here, besides the glossy one, I mean, you do have to kind of dig to get it, so just know that. It does have a little bit of that pearlescence, but you do have to kind of dig to get to it. Besides that shade, every shade in this palette is just perfect. Like, absolutely beautiful. The other thing she nailed was the mattes. The mattes that she chose to pair with these shadows, perfection. It makes it so much user-friendly to have the mattes that you need in one palette to pair with these gorgeous textures that she has in here. So overall, well done, gorgeous, gorgeous palette. So if you are interested in getting this palette, I would definitely recommend putting this on your Sephora holiday event list and pick it up. Especially if you're a Rouge member or a VIB member, I would definitely put it on the list because this is gorgeous. But on the flip side of this is not going to work for everyone. Okay, so this palette is definitely purple heavy. So you need to love, number one, purples. Okay, all different types of purples. Blue purples, periwinkle purples, blue silver purples. Like, this has a lot of variety. Like, you got dark purples. I mean, all of it. Okay. This is a very heavy purple palette. So you're going to need to love purples in order to justify this. That's number one. Number two, this palette is not for those who like a light wash of shimmer. You gotta love strong pigments in order to love this. This is like a mothership almost. It's kind of gives me that vibe where you're gonna really need to love these type of makeup looks where the eyes are just popping, right? This is a lot of pigment and a lot of shine. So keep that in mind. You look at the front of it and you're thinking, oh, okay, it's a rose quartz. And a quartz can be multiple different colors. That's what makes a quartz so beautiful, right? But this palette is definitely more purple base. You only have 3 shadows in this palette. Well, I'm not talking about the mattes. I'm talking about like the different textures. You only have these 3 shadows up here that are on the pink side. The rest are all purple. All of them. So kind of keep that in mind. It's a little misleading because you think it's going to be more of a rose gold, even though it's called a rose quartz. You think it's going to be more of a rose gold kind of palette. It's definitely more purple base. So if you're somebody that does not like purple eyeshadows, I would not waste your money on this because there's not enough other colors in here to make it worth it. This is definitely a very purple heavy palette. You gotta love purples in order to justify this. So overall, I think she nailed it, you guys. Knocked it out of the ballpark, nailed it. Like, this is a gorgeous palette. And as long as you like those strong pigments and you love purples, this is your palette. I'm here to tell you, this is your palette. Here's the thing. I have had some hit and misses when it comes to her 9-pan palettes. Obviously, those are made in USA. These bigger palettes are made in Italy, but there's definitely a difference between them. The matte shadows in the Huda Beauty 9-pan palettes don't even compare to the mattes in these palettes, in this larger palette. I don't know that I'm gonna buy any more of Huda Beauty's 9-pan palettes because I buy them and I don't end up liking them, and I never reach for them. I never use them, and it's a waste of money. So this is not a waste of money. She brought it, boy. Oh my gosh, she brought it. fantastic. If you love purples and you love your eyes to shine from the moon, this might be your favorite palette this year. It's gorgeous. I'm impressed. That's it for my review, you all. Sound off down below in the comment section. Let us know your thoughts. Is this on your radar? Is this on your list to pick up during the Sephora event? I'm so curious. Share with us in the comment section down below your thoughts. Thank you so much for hanging out with me in today's video. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Love you. Bye.